It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago, and it's 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio. This is America's Podcast. What's the buzz? And God help us, folks, but she's back.
Yes, I'm back.
Amelia, the Pitbull chat. Where'd you go last night? Why weren't you here?
I had to do some shopping for my birthday from Friday.
I heard. Yeah, I told everybody. So Amelia is shopping tonight, so I guess she's Christmas shopping or whatever. I forgot her birthday.
I know you did, huh?
Well, look, I got busy. Look, things happen. Forgive me.
You're
What are you up to,
forgiven.
kid?
Nothing much, just getting ready for Thanksgiving, getting some last minute stuff, and
Right, good.
starting to prepare all the little touches, cutting all the
Well,
stuff
yeah,
for the.
you have to do that every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stuff don't get done by itself.
No, unfortunately not.
We had a really, really good show last night.
I saw
It
that.
was, I was trying to figure out if it was number 3 or number 4 with the guys from
I
Alcatraz.
believe 3.
I think it was number 3. What
Mm-hmm.
confused me was Mike Lynch had been here
Oh, several
on
times.
his own, a couple of times
Mhm.
separately
Yes.
of Alcatraz, and Ken Widener, who is, by the way, the nephew
Hmm.
of John and Clarence Anglin, the two guys who actually, finally, the FBI finally acknowledges
Oh,
that
wow.
they made it off the island.
Oh,
They,
wow. That's
after
amazing.
all these, because what happened was, Amelia,
Mhm.
is the FBI's forensic imaging analyst, the guy that does pictures, right?
Right. Hmm.
He said, "Oh yeah, this is real. That's them." It was 99.9% accuracy.
Wow.
Like you don't get any better than that.
Right. I was gonna
You
ask them a
know?
question, but I didn't get a chance to because my son kept interrupting me, like, "Mom, watch this, watch this." It's hard
Yeah.
to watch. Uh, I was like, "Stop," because I was wanting to watch the show, and then he was wanting me to, because they're sports fanatics here. And there was some. I noticed there was some writing on the back of that picture.
There was, and what it said was, it was from John and Clarence. It was for their mother. There was a code
Oh,
on the,
okay.
and because Ken wouldn't go into like what it, because I said what was written on there,
Hmm.
and he kind of like clammed up a little bit.
He kind of just changed the subject.
Well, he didn't change the subject. He didn't
Mhm.
say anything.
Oh, I wish I would have known because remember I asked that code word question too,
Yes,
but
and there were code words. Apparently, they had this again. This guy Fred Breezy.
mhm.
He was the connection between the
Right.
boys and the family,
Ah,
and
okay.
that was the linchpin. See, one of the things I wanted to talk to them about was the importance of Fred Breezy, because one of the things I have always read over and over and over
Mm.
is that Fred Breezy was this peripheral character,
Right.
like a side note, if you want
Mhm.
to use that term.
Right, right.
And he certainly was not a side note. He was the knee deep into this thing, like he had his waders on, boy. He was in that shit.
Mhm.
You know, he was walking through that muck up to his friggin' eyeballs at one point. But that was a hell of a show. Mike Lynch is going to come back on his own. We're going to do a show while we're waiting for our guest to get here. We're
Mhm.
going to do a show on can God make mistakes?
Yes.
And I
That's a
talked to
great show.
Pastor Steve about that, who is not only is he my nephew, but he's our resident, religious dude around here. Um, I'm
Our rowdy
moving
Rev is what we call him.
out of the way, folks, because I know what's coming.
We call him our rowdy Rev. So
All right, hold on. Why am I? Oh, here we go. Hold on. Yeah.
Mhm.
Every time you get in here, my lights go dim. What the hell are you doing to my lights for
I
crying?
ain't doing anything to your lights. I'm way over here in Florida, so that cannot be me.
Stop fucking with my lights.
That's either your
Anyway, let me
sister
put my
coming to
stuff
tell
back.
you that's either your sister coming to tell you happy Thanksgiving, or that's your father coming to tell you happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, let me tell you something about my sister and my father. It's funny you say that because always around the holidays, you know it too, because you've lost people.
Yes.
Always around the holiday, weird shit happens.
Yes.
You know? Hey, Susie.
Hello.
Hey,
There she
how
is.
you doing?
Let me tell you
Hi.
something there, girlfriend. I was getting ready to send a search party after your ass.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you didn't do that. Thank
I'm
you.
telling you. I am
I'm telling you.
Let me tell
Yeah, you tell.
everybody who you are. This wonderful, bubbly, charismatic individual, ladies and gentlemen, is Susie Singer Carter. She's an award-winning writer, playwright, director, producer, actress, world champion crochet artist.
She's a
She
girl with
does
many hats.
everything.
She does everything. She cooks, she cleans, she does it all. And she looks like a
I'm
Tootsie,
saying,
but
like
she's not.
people like you, I want to smack because you don't know how to fuck up. That's the thing.
I love
That's
that.
it. By the way, we have no language parameters on this
That's
show.
right.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
She
I love her already.
She started her film and television career in 2006, writing, producing, and directing children programs for CBS Morning like Cake and Dance Revolution. And she moved into features like Bratz. I've got that one here. Trust me when I tell you that one. And Soul Surfer. I'm very familiar with that short. My Mom and the Girl. I have that. Okay.
What?
It might surprise you. I have that.
What?
That's
Say-
why when Harlan said that you were available, I said, "Oh yeah, girlfriend's coming here. Trust me."
I love it. I love that. That's incredible.
Absolutely, because
Wow.
one of the things it was Valerie Harper. I had such a crush on Val. I
Valerie.
really did.
Boom, 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 boom,
Susie
boom.
Singer Carter is here
Mhm.
tonight for a very, very personal reason, a reason that I can empathize with, as can Amelia Pitbull
Yes.
Chapman. I will. That's her name. Yeah, they call me the
Yeah.
Mad Dog. She's
And
the
then
Pitbull.
What am
Susie,
I then? I'm the
you
Yorkshire.
came this close,
There you
Susie, to
go.
walking into the fucking dog pound. I swear to
I know, right?
We had a good day. We'll have fun. Who knows?
Right.
Maybe we'll go home with a
Absolute-
new puppy. I don't care.
Absolutely. She's sitting right there.
I know. I'll take one.
Oh man. So let me tell everybody why you're here. I have to. I'm going to get serious which is rare, but I have to get serious for this show. And one of the reasons I wanted you here because what you experienced is so intensely personal. It doesn't get any more personal than that. To see and hear your loved one crying, begging in some cases for mercy, for help, for food, for water.
Mhm.
You're talking to a guy whose father died from starvation in a hospital.
Oh God.
He went in allegedly with COVID, and they put him on a hospice floor. Okay?
Yep.
You see where we're going with this?
Oh, I
You
know.
see why the Mad Dog is fired the fuck up tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's going to get real fired in a minute. Amelia,
Yes.
tell Susie what you went through with your husband, Jeffrey.
He went into a rehab facility because he had sepsis, and of course he needed a hip replacement, and he went in with somebody slamming him onto the bed, and he ended up with sepsis again. And this rehab place would give him food cold. They would take about an hour to come get him to even move him
Horrible
or even get a
condition.
shower. Horrible condition.
Horrible conditions. You
Yeah.
get where we're going with this, Susie.
And he's been in hospital bedbound for 1.5 years right
Yeah.
now.
I am so sorry.
He's
Can I-
literally in the hospital right now from recovering from foot surgery.
This
Before
is
he has his hip replacement. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the thing this is exactly why I'm doing this project, No Country for Old People, because what you're telling me is this is not unique. This is sadly like the standard that we've come to.
Yeah.
And you know, going into a rehab center is that between a nursing home and a rehab center, you're effed, like you said.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and
Oh, don't hold back, Susan. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
don't
I'm
hold back
serious.
here.
I want the impact of your words to mean something here.
yeah,
This is my daughter worked for 2 rehab centers, both dealing in geriatrics with old people. She
Yeah.
had to quit both jobs because she couldn't. Every night, Susie, every night she came home crying her eyes out. And
absolutely.
helpless to do anything
Mhm.
because it's the status quo in these places.
And the status quo is kept the status quo because they have a massively strong nursing home lobby. And
Yes.
they have made it their business to pay to keep everything status quo because that's the business model. That's the business model.
And how did it become that? That's the biggest question. How did they yield so much freaking power? Why do they have this much power? That's the question. Why? And how did they attain this? From where?
They gained the system because we have an ageist, ableist society that does la 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 until you're in it. And until you're in it, that's when it's too late to do anything because the system is locked the way it is. So you get gaslit, you get retaliation, you're told to take your loved one home. If you don't like it, leave.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
Oh,
And
we've heard we've heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And
We've heard
so
that one.
yeah, and so this is what you're up against at that point. So you're playing whack-a-mole, and you don't really know the game that you're playing. You don't know the rules of the game.
Yeah.
So, and the rules of the game are that you have these, and this has been going on for 5 decades. There's there's corporate entities. It's very good. It's a very good investment. And so there's corporate entities, and even if it says that the facility is seemingly a nonprofit, there's ways to frame those things so that facility may be a nonprofit, but that doesn't mean the corporate entity, the corporate ownership is nonprofit.
Yeah.
They're making profit, believe you me.
Oh, let me tell you that just how much profit they're making. Last year alone, these are real numbers, folks. If you think I'm in any way, shape, or form fudging these numbers, listen to this. It will blow your mind. Last year, globally, this is a worldwide number because it's not just a U.S. issue. This is a worldwide pandemic. This is a problem.
Yep.
Globally, the health rehabilitation, and that's what it's labeled under, health and rehabilitation. Last year alone, more than 12 trillion, folks, is where we're going. Do you hear this?
Wow.
More than $12 trillion in profit.
That's right.
Profit made. That's not to say what they took in. That's not to say what somebody lined their pocket with. Because there's plenty of that shit going on too. A lot of people are getting rich off of this stuff. A lot of people.
I call it warehousing. They're warehousing our most vulnerable.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
And they're warehousing our elderly and our loved ones. And and if you have any kind of cognitive disability, whether you have Parkinson's or a stroke or Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever the case may be, you're screwed because you're old. That's one strike against you. And now you are valueless more, because you have a cognitive and you don't have a voice. So, and even if you have an advocate like me or you too, you know how hard it is to advocate because their system is tight. And it comes down to our individualistic community or culture that we're in. We're not a community-based culture anymore. We cart off our sick people. We cart off our people with disabilities. We put them in facilities. Yes. They're supposed to be homes. They're called nursing homes. They're not. They're facilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because their business models based on, you know, for the biggest you know problem
Mhm.
is the understaffing, right? So
Yeah.
that is because that's the biggest cost. And then all the other costs have been they've fixed that as well by having these what's called related parties. So these
Yeah.
big corporations buy the leasing company, they buy the vendors, they buy
Yeah.
the nursing homes, they buy the testing facilities, right?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they jack up the prices
Of course.
themselves. And then when there is, for instance, like in California, we do have a minimum staffing requirement, which most states do not.
And,
It's
and
not
that's the biggest issue that my daughter experienced. She worked doubles, triples. She
apples,
worked
triples.
crazy.
Yes.
You go into a place with 227. This one particular place, I could walk there. That's how close it is
Mhm.
from my house.
Mhm.
227 residents. They call them residents, not patients, by the way.
Right.
I know.
227 residents, and at any given time, no more than 4 people on staff.
It's
4. You hear what I'm saying?
That-
4.
It's-
Yeah.
I'll
that is
give you the name of the place if you think I'm bullshitting you.
no,
It's called Laurel Manor, and please look it up if you think I'm kidding.
no, he's not. You're not kidding. I know because I've been. You listen. I've been living in this world for the past 2 years. There isn't a stone unturned, and you know they're called homes, but they're not. They're not homes.
No,
And
they're not.
and what your daughter experienced, we do a whole section on that in the documentary called Moral Injury, because you know nobody who has empathy or who went into this as a vocation, a vocational caregiver, whether you're a CNA or a registered nurse, whether you're a doctor, you can't work under these parameters and just sleep at night. It's too hard. So you go home thinking, I've just left somebody in peril.
It's
Yeah.
increasingly difficult to wrap my head around what my family has been through. It wasn't just my father dying. It wasn't just my daughter working for these god awful people. I had a sister who
Mhm.
died in a nursing home facility. She was there to get rehab.
Exactly.
And she bled out.
Exactly.
Bled out.
I'm so sorry.
Let me tell you something. She bled out a day before I was supposed to go on vacation. Okay, this is like you can't make this shit up.
No,
Okay,
you can't.
she had, oh my God, everything that could go wrong did.
Same
On
with my
top of the fact that she bled out, which didn't take much because my sister was a double amputee, they left her there to die.
yeah.
We came in to see her body. Then no one had even cleaned up. Susie, do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay? It's not bad enough that I lost my sister and my father, and that Amelia went through the horrible shit she had to go through, and that my daughter came home crying every night. She couldn't take it anymore. She works for Amazon now, thank God.
Yeah. Understood.
You know, when my father and my sister passed away, I didn't grieve. I was grateful. I said, thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Because they're out of that shit. That was mercy. That was, if you believe in God, that was God's mercy
Mhm.
to my family.
Right.
Which, my mother still hasn't recovered from. She's 89 years old, my mother.
Right.
And that's
And how is your mom doing? How old? And she's 89. How is she doing?
Let me tell you something. My mother is like a lumberjack. Okay. You can't, this woman is like, she's got a mouth on her. She don't care. She's an
How is
old,
that possible? I don't understand.
she's an old Italian lady, She's going to tell you what she thinks, whether you want to hear it or
I
not.
love it. Okay, I love it so much. So listen, my mom was 89 when they did this to her, okay, for 6
Yeah.
months.
We're
And-
going to talk a lot about your mom, and we're going to see her because I actually knew who your mother was.
Aw.
'Cause
I
I'm
just
an
want to
old
say
fart.
that my mom was not ready to die. My mom,
No.
She had a mouth on her too. She had more game, even at the end of her life, in a wheelchair with sepsis than I've ever had in my life.
Your
And I
mother
love her
had what
too.
they call what the Jewish people call chutzpah.
That's right.
Your mother had chutzpah in spades,
Yes.
kid. Let's take a look at your mom.
Okay.
Watch this.
Very clear. Our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. Ooh, my dear.
And you have to wait for Rosa. She's coming. Go, Edie.
Hi, Mom. It's me, Susie. What happened? What's the matter?
You're hurting her. She's on the tube.
Oh, it's bleeding. So sorry.
I feel impotent to help my mom. She's in pain because they're not taking care of her.
Fighting for his dignity was a horrible battle from hell.
And I'm calling the nurse's station. There's no one picking up the damn
My
phone.
mother's death was a brutal death at the nursing home.
The nursing home can save as much as $1 million a year by keeping their staffing low.
The lack of staffing.
There's a big problem with understaffing.
Staffing is the root of all evil.
We live in a very ageist society. No one wants to see images of older adults. It doesn't sell.
I love you.
If you're specifically doing it to make sure the patient just dies in 10 minutes, that's murder.
If being honest and having integrity gets you in trouble, keep doing it.
When cash is the primary reason for doing something anywhere in the healthcare system, people suffer.
There is the huge ethical issue within this industry is you are literally killing people to make more money.
They're trying to make her die faster than she wants to.
Do we care about the patients, the residents, or do we care about the finances of the healthcare industrial complex? And we have to look in the mirror and ask ourselves as a country, what are we going to do for our older adults, for our most vulnerable, for our loved ones? And I think that's why you're doing this documentary.
When Dr. Wasserman, I heard him for the first time about 3 days ago, when Dr. Wasserman said the medical industrial complex, I wanted to fucking shoot somebody because he's right.
That's right.
I was livid to the point of I got physically like agitated. I had to get up and walk. Okay.
Yeah.
When I heard him use that, because I've heard that a similar phrase back in the 1950s with President Eisenhower, calling it the military industrial complex.
That's right.
But when Dr. Harvey Wasserman, I think his name's Harvey, right? Michael
Yeah.
Wasserman. When Dr. Wasserman said the medical industrial complex, make your own a comparison. You know, do whatever analysis you wish, but it's there. They are today what the military industrial complex was then.
That's right.
And I heard that and I was livid, but he's
Mhm.
absolutely fucking right.
No,
And he has become one of my heroes, Susie.
yeah, no, he's amazing. And in the documentary, he talks about, and I say this statistic all the time because I can never get used to it, but over 200,000 nursing home residents died within the first 6 weeks of COVID, and not because of COVID, but because they were isolated, neglected, and abused.
Exactly.
They died
Absolutely.
alone.
Thank you.
And they died alone.
They died
alone.
Let me tell you what it took for me, because my father died right in the middle of this stuff. Okay. Thankfully, they put COVID on his death certificate. At least we got some money back that my mother was able to use for the funeral. But let me tell you from a personal standpoint what it did to my family. It made us untrusting. It made us skeptical of the healthcare and we loved the doctors that took care of my father. He was, not only did he survive COVID twice, but he was a heart recipient. That 15 years we would have lost him 15 years ago had he not been given the gift of a new heart.
Right.
And then doesn't a doctor give him a fleet enema that blows out his kidneys? This is the kind of shit this poor man went through. That's why when he passed, I was grateful. Thank you. No more. No more torture does he have to endure.
Right, but and he shouldn't have had to have the torture because
you're
that's
right.
the thing.
And you're absolutely right. Your mother, what an amazing woman. I know a little bit about your mother because, first of all, like I said, I'm old and I'm a music file and I study ferociously. And I have a quench for this history, our history. And people don't have that kind of thirst for the history anymore. But when I saw immediately, as soon as I saw your mother's face, I know this woman. I knew her immediately.
Yep.
I didn't connect you with her because she's beautiful. And you're okay. You're pretty.
Oh, gee, thanks. Right.
Here's the thing, though. I'm being facetious, of course.
I know.
Because in a show like this with such serious topic, you have to like break the ice once in a while.
No, I get it.
When did you know? Was it just a chance visit? When did you know something was seriously amiss?
Right. So, I was so happy to get my mom in said 5-star facility in Los Angeles because I thought there was a 3-year waiting list. And I was like so happy. I would tell people on my podcast, which is about Alzheimer's, Love Conquers All. I say, thank God my mom, I can sleep. I know she's well taken care of. That doesn't mean I don't visit her and I don't see her. Okay. So when you start seeing signs, little signs, they're not clean. They're not, there's something's wrong. They're too thin or they're not. Now she's in a wheelchair all the time. Like, what's going on? And you ask and they say, oh, this is normal. This is normal. And you start but you question yourself. So come COVID, and COVID did one thing it did do was pull the curtain back on this crisis that we have, the systemic crisis. And when they finally put into place a weekly Zoom with our loved ones, because it took about 2 months to get a weekly Zoom. Now you're Zooming with someone with Alzheimer's. That's very difficult.
Yes.
Anyhow, right? Now, my mom was not bedbound. She was in a wheelchair. That's a whole nother story. That was due to Depakote, and that's called chemically restraining people because it's easier. Was it when you see people at a nursing home that look like they're zombies in a chair like that?
Yes.
Being overdrugged.
Every visit,
They're being drugged, and that's what's happening to my mom. I didn't even know. I thought that because she was fit. She was walking 5 miles a day with me when she lived with me.
Yeah.
And suddenly she's immobile and incontinent. And then her regular physician called me like 3 months later and said, your mom's on Depakote. Do you know what that is? No, I do not. And I didn't approve it. It's a opiate. Yeah, it's an opiate that
Oh, that's a whole nother show.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
off marketing. It's called off marketing. And in fact, my partner, Rick Montcastle, the ex-federal, he's a retired federal prosecutor, actually prosecuted Abbott Labs for off marketing Depakote to nursing homes. And I had no idea when she came in. It was like that movie Alive with Robert De Niro, where she came back to life, but she never walked again, and she was never continent again.
Exactly.
So my mom, getting back to COVID time, when we started to have these regular 3:00 Zooms, after about the second Zoom, my mom was now in bed at 3 p.m, not dressed, laying in bed. And I kept saying to the CNA who was helping out, to do the Zoom, why is mommy in bed? Oh, I don't know, Susie. I don't know, but it's crazy here right now. It's crazy. Every week I saw my mom, I saw her disappear before my eyes. I kept seeing her less and less and less.
That's the hardest thing to do. It's one thing to know that your parents are going to get older and die, but it's another thing watching it happen in front of you. That was the hardest thing for me.
It shouldn't have
That was
happened.
the hardest thing. No, and it doesn't have to happen that way.
No, nobody deserves to die that way. And
No one.
And as you know, that in my series, in the docu-series, it's going to be, my mother went 6 months of them trying to tell me that she was dying, and she literally wasn't yet. And I said to them, I'm not under any illusion that my mom's not going to die. I get it. I mean, forget about the fact that we had a pact we're never dying, but that, we broke it.
Yeah.
But I said to them, listen, I know my mom's going to die, but I'll tell you, she's not ready. She's laughing. She's enjoying.
Right.
She wants to eat. She loves, she sees me. She stopped out of nowhere. She'll just go, God, you're beautiful. God, I love you. And she was enjoying, and I said, I remember when she could still talk, which was right before she went into the hospital. I said, Mommy, how are you? Every time. I'm great. I'm alive, and the alternative sucks. That's what she would say. She was loving her life. It was her life. It's her prerogative.
Absolutely.
So, when she went into the hospital with a stage 4 bed sore, which is the hallmark of neglect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they told me it didn't happen here. I said, where did it happen? In the ambulance on the way over to the hospital? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
When she got out of the hospital, they're like, we want to put her in hospice now. Why? The doctor told me she's not dying, that, she just needs to have wound care. No, she's going to succumb to the wound, is what they told me. I said,
how first of all,
No,
how can you
that doesn't
even
happen.
make a statement like that?
Oh, they're callous as hell. They're callous as hell. They sent the chaplain in. Every time I had a question about something, the chaplain would come in and go, hi, how you doing? Everything okay? Your mom has Alzheimer's. She has holes in her brains. So that you don't have to worry about it. She doesn't really
First
know
of
what's
all those sons of bitches are all fucking complicit, okay? The chaplain, the priests, the rabbis, all these sons of bitches. I can get graphic, but I'll try to be nice.
No, I'm with you.
It bothers me too. You don't even know, infinitum, it bothers me. I wish I had the ability to testify before Congress. That's all I could say right now.
And
I would love, if you ever get the chance to do that, make a call to the Mad Dog, because I'm right behind you, kid.
Oh, Mad Dog, I need your, what they say in Jewish, your pisk. You got a great pisk. You know what that is?
Yeah. Amelia, questions for Susie Singer Carter. Please.
Yeah, I mean, during that time, did you ever just want to go up there with attorneys and clubs and stuff like that and say, you know what, stop this? I know my mom is not dying here.
Girl, you know what? I didn't know the system I was up against. So you're being told by everybody, you're in denial.
Yeah.
You can take your mom home. We know it's upsetting to you. Your mom and you have no choice. You're in now. They've got her to the point where she needs skilled nursing.
Yeah,
You can't take her home. So you are between a rock and a hard place. I had no idea that there was even ombudsmans, which, by the way, ombudsman, unfortunately, the concept is good. They're not funded. It's all by volunteer. And even if there is one, they're pretty toothless.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the rights to really do what you need them to do in the time of
Yeah.
crisis. So, when you're in a crisis situation like your dad or your husband, and like this is what, the clock is ticking.
Yes.
And my
Yeah.
mom needed a wound doctor, and every day I was
Yes.
in there saying, did we get a hold of the wound doctor? We're working on it. So-and-so's on vacation.
Yep.
I said, is everybody on vacation? Like
Yes.
everybody, and it's COVID. What's going on? Who's going on vacation?
Yeah,
Like-
they all took their vacation at the same
At
fucking
the same
time.
time. Exactly.
Remarkable.
It's the MO. It's the MO. So I had no idea until Rick Montcastle, who, if you've seen Dope Sick, you'll know he was played by Peter Sarsgaard. He went after the Purdue Pharma for OxyContin. He's, and he said to me, you are up against a systemic crisis. This is not just you and your mom. This
Right.
is a national, if not worldwide issue. But for us in America, we have this, as I said, a very, very, very strong lobby who
Yeah.
have embedded themselves in our legislature. They have seats in our legislation. They make decisions. So even if you have a bill passed, is it going to get enforced? No. Is there any oversight? Not really.
No.
And is there any penalty? It's the cost of doing business.
Yes.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Suze, I'm up against a hard break, young lady. Let me do this and we will come right back, okay?
Perfect.
Okay. Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we. We are What's the Buzz Podcast. We are live around the world and on Armed Forces Radio. This is the night I waited for. A long time to have Susie Singer Carter here. This is an amazing film. No Country for Old People. If you are squeamish, do not watch it. If you care deeply about your family, watch it intently.
Absolutely.
I have somebody here in our chat room, Susie. I want to introduce you to my friend Leon. Leon and Rosie live in an assisted living facility. This is Leon. I had an awful experience in December of 2015. I was 48, not really old. I'm in an assisted living, and it's awful. I get zero assistance I need. A lady died here in her sleep, and it was over 24 hours before she was discovered. Her roommate said she thought she was sleeping. I came here at in 2020. That's a typo. 2022 at 2:37. I could tell you that Leon was a big dude. Today I weigh 165. If you saw Leon, he looks like a skeleton. 2022, not 20. He's apologizing for his
typo
there. Yeah. Get this one morning I was in the shower. Oh, get this. One morning I was in the shower and an aide came in asking me why I won't bathe. Well, really? I mean, he's in the shower.
Right.
And
I
don't understand that. Like, he has to be bathed by them. Why can't he take his own shower?
Exactly.
If you're able and you're physically capable, well, then why shouldn't you be able to wash yourself? First of all, they do a piss poor job. These,
they do.
They're called. They're not. Most of them aren't even nurses, by the way.
No.
They're health attendants. Many times they're young ladies and men that are still in school working to get credit.
Yes.
People don't get that. You're putting your loved ones' health and life at risk for somebody that's not even fully trained in this. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Amelia must be proud of me, Amelia. I'm actually behaving myself. You don't know.
He
Susie,
is. He's
you don't know.
behaving himself really, really well.
I am.
Well, it's
very
serious
vocal.
stuff. No, it's very serious. And Leon and Rosie, I hear you, and I hear your stories, and you are heard by me, and you're represented by me in the documentary. I have 2 people that are in their 40s who are long-term care residents who are because they are vocal, are being retaliated against because they can be vocal. It's much harder for the staff to address people that are vocal, that are corpus mentis, have their cognitive abilities, and that becomes, a liability for them because they don't have the time and the effort to put into it, to address the kinds of things that need to be addressed. I have CNAs, the certified nursing assistants that you're talking about, who are in tears because they've found dead people in rooms that another CNA was supposed to be attending to, but there wasn't enough, and it's awfully quiet down there, and go down there and realize. And this, one of the women that we interviewed, she's since left because she can't. I mean, has PTSD, and the suicide rate in doctors and providers and nurses has skyrocketed, because it's not just nursing homes and assisted living. It is also all throughout.
Absolutely. Doctors are among the second highest suicide rate in the world. Would you venture a guess what the first is? Police officers.
Oh my goodness.
Police and doctors. Followed by, on the third place, by lawyers. Because we've got a show coming up. I want to do this. I have a couple things here. This headline you're looking at is a sub-headline that I ripped 2 days ago from USA Today. America's nursing home hospice care crisis is at an epidemic level. Now, here's what was written under it. Have we reached the point of no return, or is there still hope? Those questions I pose to you. Have we reached that point of no return, Suze? Is there hope yet? Is there any hope left?
I think there is hope because, listen, we are very powerful as a collective. We need to get back to looking at ourselves as a community and as a collective, and not individuals who are trying to navigate a world, because we all need people at some point. This is not my mommy's story. This is all of our stories. It's mine, it's yours, it's your loved ones, it's everybody's, because at some point you're either going to be a caregiver or you're going to need a caregiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
something, Susie.
What?
I have to tell you though, you're in a very, very keen position. You are placed right when and where you need to be with regards to this story. If it were me, no one would give me the time of day, but you have a profile. You've got a higher profile than I. People just know me. Oh, he's the loudmouth guy on the radio. But Susie Singer Carter has credibility because they see your face. They hear your stories. They know you. And I'm grateful to have you here.
Yes, me too.
You are.
I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be here talking with you. Thank you.
Well, and thank you for bringing this and your high profile to this subject. I hate the fact that you had to deal with these butchers in these so-called, I don't even like to call them healthcare facilities. Yeah. As you used the perfect word earlier in the program, warehousing.
Yep.
Human warehousing. That's what we're doing. We're warehousing old people.
That's right.
Old people today are disposable. The people don't get that. You are disposable. You're a throwaway.
Yes,
like that
exactly.
It's like that camera that you're done with after the pickup. Throw it away.
One of our nurses says that exactly. She goes, "They're just throwaway people. Just throwaway."
Yeah.
And if we don't care about them, so to answer your question, if we come together.
On many levels, though, Susie. On many levels, people are throwing. I mean, look at the older generation. Look at babies. People are having babies, and they're putting them in little boxes at police stations. Is this what we fucking come to?
Right.
Is this what we've come to as a human race, as a society, as a people? What the fuck happened?
It's called disassociation. We've disassociated from humanity. We've become so myopic and in our own bubbles. And, nobody wants to be realistic and put on their big boy and girl pants and say, this is what life is. I'm going to tell you right now, like I've been born in LA. I grew up here. I've been an actress. I've been in all of the, make-believe world. And I can tell you, I am such a better person. I couldn't be more enriched than taking care of someone that you love, showing your children that that's what you do. Did you see the little baby on my mom? I mean, that is connection. Yeah. That is, they had their own language. That's her great granddaughter.
Exactly.
But it's gorgeous. You're not going to get more beauty than that. And people that have lived a long time, I'm sorry, we don't age out. We age in. We age in. We're smarter than you. We're smarter than the people younger than us. We're smarter. We've lived longer. Why do we age out? We shouldn't. We need to switch that the way we look at it. It's bias against our future selves.
That's a term. I want to find out the first person who used that phrase, because I want to beat the fuck out of them. Aged out. What the hell is aging? Will somebody please tell me this?
First of all,
what does that even mean? Leon says they're more concerned with our personal lives than our needs. Why? And he's absolutely right. I've witnessed it myself. Why? Why do they care? Just take care of you.
I don't know. Maybe I've not heard that question before. I mean, my first response is like, is it because
you're hearing it from a guy in an assisted living right now?
That's what I'm saying, Leon. I'm wondering if it's, is it because they're sussing out like how much you're worth and what value do you have? What value do you have? Because I remember, listen, like you said, they're disposable. People are disposable. And and it's not just age, it's disability. So there's the ableism, right? So it's like, do you have money? What's your value? And most people, once they live long enough, not you, Leon, because you're young, but once you get to an age and you've lived out your savings because you have Alzheimer's, a lung disease, whatever, and you're on Medicare or Medicaid, Medi-Cal, whatever it is, you are now a second-class citizen. You just went from being this amazing human being.
You hit a trigger, Susie. Yes. You hit a trigger with me. I want to talk about this because it's something that nobody wants to talk about, and it's the money. Yeah. You have a loved one. They're in a facility many times, unless you're in your position where you can afford a 5-star facility. Most of these places are barely half a star. Yeah. I live in New Jersey. I'm clear on the other side of the country. I'm in New Jersey. We have some of the most piss poor facilities you'll ever see.
I know.
Okay. It's horrible. Here's the question. Do these people, in many cases, do they even know what they're signing up for? You're signing away your Social Security. You're signing away your annuities, your benefit.
That's right.
Every financial stronghold you may have is out the window the minute you say, "Give me where do I sign?"
Right.
You literally sign your fucking life away. Okay?
My mother, let me just tell you, it's equal opportunity, because even at a 5-star facility like my mom was at, she had depleted all of her savings because she had Alzheimer's for 16 years. So she was on Medicaid, Medi-Cal in California. So because and they'll tell you, that's why there was a 3-year waiting list, that there's only so many beds for Medicaid, which is, first of all, BS. That's BS right there. Second of all, the minute you are on Medicaid, you are demoted. You are
Yes.
valueless. So when they want to know what your personal life is, they want to know how much money are you worth and how much more they can suck out of your bank account. And once you're on Medi-Cal, they have to take care of you. But this is why hospice has become big business, because hospice is covered by Medicare. Medicare can pay up to $1,500 a day.
Yeah.
Don't write letters and say, no, that's not true. Yes, it is true. It can vary anywhere from 600 to 1,500, depending on the acuity, depending on how they finagle it. So I know this from our experts. So
Susie, if you're comfortable answering this question, I've got it. I hate to ask you, but I'm going to. And maybe it's a very personal question. What did it cost you? What did it cost your mom in this facility?
Well, no, because she was on Medicaid.
Oh, okay. So it was paid for. Okay.
Right. But if it wasn't like in Los Angeles here, like my roommate's, his mom, who is 90, is in assisted living, and they're paying over $10,000 a month. And it's only going up constantly, because it's like anytime she needs extra assistance, or maybe they're up to 11,000 now, I think. But that's not a big deal. So once you get to that point, you're still not getting good care, and now once you get too high of acuity, they're going to kick you out. They're going to say, we can't handle you. So now what do?
I'm asking for a very specific reason. My sister was she died in a rehab facility. Okay. She was only there 8 days.
That's right.
8 days. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At $1,400 a day.
That's right.
8 days. Are you hear what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's a real number.
That's a real number. And by the way,
$1,400 a day.
And I cannot tell you how many people go into rehab who are younger, and all they're going in for is some kind of acuity that can, like your husband, right, who goes in for something, and suddenly they are deathly ill, and they die. Rehab centers are horrible. They're the worst, and they're not.
Amelia's husband, Jeff, great guy. Yeah. He went in for a simple procedure.
That's right.
He contracted sepsis and almost died for a routine procedure.
That's right.
Are you hearing what we're saying?
He was 61, and now he'll be 63, and he's been hospital bedbound since June of last year.
2 years.
Honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Years is what she's going through.
Yeah.
I interviewed.
What's the takeaway here? How do we affect change? Is there a way to?
We need to do a grassroots movement, and that's what I am mobilizing and forging a grassroots movement, and which is calling it Roar.
Can you count me in, please? I'm in.
Please join me. It's called Roar. It's respect.
Count me in.
I'll tell you what. I'm not famous, Susie, but I have a podcast here with 15+ million subscribers. That's a real number too. Over 15 million subscribers, almost 10.5 million of them on Spotify alone.
I need you. I need you, audience.
I have a very prolific voice in the podcast world. Thankfully, I'm grateful to everybody, and I've had some of the biggest heavy hitters on this show.
I adore you both already.
Susie Singer Carter Award winner is right at home here. I've had Academy Award winners, Emmy Award winners, Golden Globe winners. I've had them all here.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. You are very special. This is my favorite interview so far. I just got to say.
Thank you.
I know
we don't pull any punches here.
No, this is my favorite, and I just want to say please join this movement. We need to do grass movements.
Is there a website I can put up for you?
Yes, please. NoCountryForOldPeople.com. Go to the movement page. It's Roar, the movement, and roar with us for quality long-term care, for integrity, for dignity, and for human rights, because people deserve that. Thank you.
There it is.
Absolutely.
NoCountryForOldPeople.com. Susie Singer Carter has a film. It's more than a film. It's a movement. It's a tribute to her mother, but it's also a warning. This is, I put it up here. I want everybody to see it. It is a must see. No Country for Old People is a must see for sure. It's not for the faint of heart. Again, you're going to see and hear things that will disturb you, that will anger you, that will ruffle your feathers, might even make a mad dog out of you.
Yeah,
I hope so. I hope so.
And we hope so.
Yes.
We hope so. First of all, thank you, Harlan Bowl, my man in LA. Thank you, Harlan, for
We love
setting this
Harlan.
up for
Thank
us.
you, Harlan. Yes.
Yeah, Harlan's a great
And
guy.
I know that we're gonna have Susie back because this is just part one.
Harlan thinks I'm a lunatic, but you know. Look, I get called a lunatic by the best of them. When you got a country music Hall of Famer like Lacey J. Dalton looks at you and says, "You're a fucking lunatic," you know. That's a badge of honor.
That's right. That's right. No,
She said it when she came back. She's been here 5 times already.
I
You know?
love it.
5 times.
You guys are my
How many
fave.
times, Amelia?
She called you at least what, 4 times a
At
lunatic?
least, yeah, 3 or 4 times. Every time she comes here, she calls me a fucking lunatic.
Okay. Well,
Anyway.
all right, fucking lunatic. I got
There
it.
you go. Another
Anyway,
one.
What I want to do,
La Familia. Okay.
Familia.
that's
There
it.
you
Boy,
go.
let me tell you something. If I do get La Familia involved in this, there ain't gonna be no more nursing homes left.
Now we're
Capisce?
talking.
An Italian and a Mexican familia.
Okay, there.
I know Louis the Lug and Jimmy the Jam, you know.
And you know what? I got Mexican connections too. So there you go.
I love it. We're very diverse.
Yeah,
We've got
Viva
Benetton going
Zapata.
here. I'll get the Jewish
Susie,
one, and then we're done. Boom.
let's talk about what else you have coming up. I'm sure you've got a lot going on. What do you got? What's next for you?
There's a film that I wrote that's coming out soon called Run. It's based on a book called Plain Jane. There's another project that I'm working on called Inflamed, which is a book which also is in this arena, but it's very much like Dope Sick. It's about, and it's, I'm just motivated by it and I just love it. The book was written so well, and it's about up in Sonoma, California, they to upscale assisted living. This was in 2018. In the wildfire, which happens every year, abandoned over 200 residents, left them there to perish.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for their family members going in through the fire and saving all of them, like a handful, they would have died. And then you get into the court case, which is, well, you would think you're angry now, Mad Dog. You will bust a gullet because it is so frustrating. And I need to expose that part of it. And it's just, it's a fabulous story. It's going to be exciting.
Come on and let's do it.
Yes.
You know, one of the things we do, and people hate us sometimes. The government hates us because one of the things, I know they're listening, and they know that I know they're listening.
Yes.
But we like to, we have this love-hate relationship. We really do. We've had them on.
Yes.
We're not even playing when I tell you. But it's one of those things where they need us. They need our anger, and we need their skepticism, and we need their twisted sensibilities, whatever they may be at the time. Without each other, we don't have this venue called the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We thrive on each other. So,
amen. Amen.
And we'll say goodbye to Mr. Biden and welcome Mr. Trump again. And maybe somebody someday will do some good in that building.
Yeah.
You know, Susie Singer Carter, you are always my young friend. You are always a welcome guest here.
I love it. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you for amplifying our message.
I'm going to put this up again. It's No Country for Old People. That's the film. You saw a prolific trailer of it tonight. If you wish to see it, go to youtube.com. Susie Singer Carter has a dedicated page on YouTube, and you'll find all kinds of good stuff there.
Yes.
Young
And then
lady, will you come back with us again?
Yes, please.
please, yes, I would be honored to do that.
Beautiful.
And you know what? When I'm just going to leave you with this. One of our interviewees, Al Power, who's a geriatrician and an advocate, said it took angry mothers to make the change in the Disability Act. It's going to take angry daughters to change this nursing home crisis. So count me in, and I want all the angry people out there to get on.
You got a mad dog and a pit bull by your side, kiddo.
Absolutely.
Nobody's going to fuck with you. Tell me.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to promote anything, just get a hold of us and you're on.
Okay. Mwah.
Amelia, tell me, do we get it done?
Absolutely. We get everything done.
Yes.
All the big mouth aside, we get it done for sure.
Yes, we do.
Susie, thank you for joining us. I'm going to let you go. All the best to you, young lady. All the best, and we will see you down the road. We will definitely keep in touch, and I'm going to send you my personal information.
Okay.
Before the night's out.
Love it. All right. Take care,
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Take
Love
care.
you. Love
Good
what you're
night.
doing. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was a great interview.
I love her. She's so sweet.
That
We do
was a
recommend
great interview.
that
I'll
you
tell you
see
what, I'm glad that I'm glad Leon said that because he sparked the conversation with her.
Yeah, if you do get a chance, I mean, I would recommend that you do see this documentary. Please.
Yeah, it's an amazing film, No Country for Old People, not to be confused with No Country for Old Men, which is also a very good film, but it's not what we're dealing with here. The point of no return. Excuse me, the point of no return, folks.
Yeah.
She says there's hope. She says there's hope. I gotta believe that. Look, you have to hold out hope.
Absolutely.
If you don't, what else is left?
Exactly, because
What else is left? If there's no hope, what else is left?
There's nothing, and we got to expose these places because I told that place.
Exactly. Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that.
Because I told that place I was going to expose them one way or another. They're going to get exposed, and this is going to be the platform to get them exposed.
Susie Singer Carter's new film is No Country for Old People. You can find it at nocountryforoldpeople.com. It is, like I said before, and I'll say it again, it is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot you're going to see and hear in this film that will upset you, will make you angry, will make you cry, and make you cry. For sure, it'll make you cry. But it'll most of it's going to have you raging your fist.
I
in
was
the
like
air,
this a lot of the time
what the
watching it.
Fuck are they doing?
Yeah, I was crying and rage and upset and angry. I had so many emotions going on.
It's a very emotional look, Amelia. First of all, you're emotional to begin with. Okay. Anyway,
Hey, I'm a Mexican. I'm a girl, so there you go.
and you're married to Jeff, and you got Joseph for a son. God help you.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh no, I give them a hard time. They're good guys. They have to be to put up with your ass.
And then also too, being hard, because she was saying being a caregiver and everything, it's hard too. And then Joseph's a caregiver here at home too. So imagine that.
It's well, you don't have what you need all the time.
No, you don't.
You know,
and
in the facility, you have what you need, but the problem in the facility, they don't have the staffing. They don't have the help.
Yeah, and then the
got
wound care.
4 people, 5 people to take care of 200.
Yeah, and then when she was talking about
crazy,
the wound care person, we would have the wound care nurse coming in once a week, and then Joseph would have to take care of that every other time by himself. Imagine that. He's not even a nurse.
I know. Can you imagine? Well, I said that tonight. A lot of these people are still in school.
Exactly.
They're still in school.
Yeah.
My daughter
still
was
learning.
still in school when she was working at the healthcare facility.
And I can just imagine what she was going through.
But what they do is they work there, and I understand it. They work there to get their, to not only to help with their credits in school, but they go there to get real world experience.
Hands-on experience. Yeah.
Hands-on experience. Yeah, real world experience,
Mhm.
which you don't get in the classroom.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times, look, these schools are good. They're good at what they do, and I get it. This, you have to go to school. You have to have like you have to have the paper education.
All right.
I get that, but that paper education is no good
No.
unless you've got real hands-on training. That's the education you're going to have every day.
Oh yes.
Every time you go into a facility like that,
Mhm.
you're going to see a new thing.
Yes.
You're going to see a new situation come up. Somebody may die while you're there. Somebody,
Mhm.
may get discharged while you're there.
Oh yes.
Any number of things. I used to play Santa Claus
Mhm.
for this facility where my daughter worked. Let me tell you something. I used to leave there drained, exhausted emotionally because it killed me to see. These people were like my grandmother. Some of them were like my mother.
Mm.
Thank God my mother's, she's the pain in the ass that she is. Thank God. I'm being very
She's
serious about
feisty. That she's feisty. That she's
She is feisty.
Mhm.
I wish that some people in these facilities were feisty like that. They drug them up so that they won't fight.
Yeah, I've seen them in the hallway, like she
They
was
do
saying,
that.
like this, in their wheelchair like that, and I just feel bad for them. And my son says, "Mom, I cannot believe you did that." There was a lady that was getting ready to go into the nursing home where Jeff was at before, all happy, getting. I
Listen
said,
to this one. Here you go.
Mhm.
Look at this. Leon says 1 aide, sometimes 2 per
Yes.
floor
Yes, I
for
believe it.
50 plus residents. We're
Jeff
just
was
talking
in that.
about that.
Jeff was in that.
Here you
And
go, and I'll talk to you about. Here's one for you.
Mhm.
I just said to you, there was 200 people
Yeah.
and 5 people to take
5
care of
people.
them.
Exactly.
You know what
That's
that
the
comes out
facility.
to? That's 40. That's 40 people for
Per
one
one. Yeah,
person.
exactly. And I
Hold on,
ended
Millie.
up I ended up
Hold on, Mill.
Mhm.
I want to get Leon. Leon, are you still with me? I want to get Leon. How do you deal with when are you? First of all, when are you getting out of there?
Yeah, really.
And number one, and number two, how do you deal with? I want to know from somebody that's there, because we never asked Leon. That's
Right.
why I'm sorry I cut you off,
Uh-huh.
but I want to see if he's still here. I'd like to get like why hasn't he left already?
I think he said he was going to a new place, but I'm refresh our memory, I think.
Oh, is that what's got?
I
Is
think
he
he said
switching facilities? Is
I
that?
think he said that, but
I
refresh
thought
our
they were getting
memory.
discharged. I thought they were like done.
Mhm. Yeah.
Leon, if you're still with me, because I really want to know, like how you put Amelia and I both want to know how the hell
I
you put
know,
up with it.
right? I'm still recovering from that video, but yeah, I
I
was
know, but talk to me about the Jeff and that situation there.
I hated him staying in there so bad that and my son's like, "Mom, I can't believe you did that." There was a lady, unpacking her stuff, and she was so
Yeah.
happy, and it was a daughter and her elderly mother, and I was like, "Your mom's not actually starting to live here." She goes, "Yeah, she just got a room." I said, "Ma'am, my husband's here for just rehab, but if your mom's living here, I would not recommend it. I'm sorry to tell you, this place is horrible."
Oh, really?
I did tell her that.
Wow. You said that?
I did. So she packed up her mother and didn't keep her there. She's like, "Mom, we're not staying."
Good.
I did. And she goes, "Mom, I can't believe you did that." I said, "Look, I did it for that lady's own good." And the nurse came out there. She goes, "What's going on here?" I said, "I don't think they're staying."
Yeah,
She goes, "Yeah, we're not
what's
staying."
what's going on here is we're getting the fuck out of Dodge. That's what
Yeah,
we're
because
doing.
I told her, and
Oh my
I
God.
I did. I told her. I said, "Ma'am, you don't want your mom here. Trust me." And then there was
No.
another lady did the
Look,
same
if you
thing.
can save them, hold
Mhm.
on. If you can save people the aggravation. Oh, yeah, here's Leon back.
Yeah. Oh,
Do it at every chance. Here we go. Oh, he has no. That's why
Oh.
he's got nowhere to go.
Oh, no.
Leon, I've never asked you this, Leon. I'm gonna ask you a very personal question. How did you end up? Why did you end up there? Were you ill, or were you homeless, or I mean, I'm going to get real personal with you. You don't have to answer me, but I have to. I wouldn't be a journalist if I didn't ask.
Mhm.
You know.
Oh, I think he
And
answered your question.
Christina, she
too.
always complains about understanding. Yes,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Understand. You know, his mother is a certified nursing assistant, CNA. That's what my daughter Shelby is.
Yeah.
She always complains about understaffing. Those that are hired usually leave. Yeah, that's another thing, Leon, that he brings up. That's a really important point. Really important point is that so many people that go into these facilities, they have nowhere else to go. They're at the mercy of, sadly, they're at the mercy of the system.
Yes, very sad.
You know, and we're talking about Kenneth Jarrett Singleton. Oh, I thought that was Leon. I'm sorry.
No.
Kenneth, yes, that's the biggest thing. Kenneth, you're absolutely right. Who else is with me? I got Leon, I got Kenneth, I have Ruffian. Oh, Ruff, how'd you sneak in there, brother? I didn't even see it. Because Leon was all over the chat box tonight.
Yeah.
Once they stopped caring for unborn babies, it was a matter of time before they stopped. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We're going to do a show. Amelia and I got a lot of shows planned for 2025. We're not going to do anything yet because we have to get together and discuss all these. But one of the things that we're going to do, and it might upset some people, is baby drop-off centers. Amelia, write that down. Baby drop-off centers, because we talked about it. We're going to do baby drop-off centers. We're going to do understaffing in these facilities. I don't even want. How do you call them facilities? And the butcher shops. Warehouses, human warehouses. Let's call them that. Human warehouses. Because I don't feel comfortable calling them a medical facility, because
they're not, because people that work there
not helping anybody.
They're not.
Who
They're
are
too
you
busy.
helping out there?
They're too
They're not
busy on
helping
their
anyone.
phones and watching TV in their little area, and all the alarms are going off with people wanting help in 30 to 45 minutes. That's when they're starting to finally help people, after their show's over that they're watching on their phones or the TV. Because I was there visiting.
So Leon, for him, said he didn't have any family or money except SSI. His landlord died. Listen to this one. You're going to love this.
Oh, no.
Because I've heard this happen before. His landlord died, and the Department of Social Services brought him there.
Oh, no.
But first of all, the Department of Social Services doesn't have any authority to take you anywhere. You're over 21 and of sound mind.
Mm-hmm.
So how are they even taking you anywhere? And lied to him about it. That's another big thing. The lies just keep on coming.
Oh, yeah. They'll just tell you anything to make you believe anything.
Yeah. Well, Amelia, we're going to take a couple of minutes and tell everybody we're going to end 2024 on this note. This was our last show for the year. You will not see us again till January, God willing, and the creek don't rise, that we are all still here and healthy and happy. And Thanksgiving is just a couple of days away. I want everyone to do something important, because we're talking about it right now. Family.
Mm-hmm.
Spend your time with the family. If you have family that are still living, spend some time with family. And if your family is all gone, spend the time with someone you love, your girlfriend, your fiance, a friend. Spend time with a friend.
Or an elderly
What
person.
the point is, don't be alone. Don't be alone on Thanksgiving. The other thing is, See, even Amelia's dog agrees.
Sorry about that.
Even Amelia's dog agrees. You hear him in the background going, "Yeah, listen to Mad Dog. Listen to Mad Dog."
They're mad.
Oh, that's fine. Let the dog bark. I like
They're
to hear
mad with you.
That's a mad dog.
Uh-huh.
This
That's-
is a mad dog too. Here's the thing. You were saying something and I stepped on your toes. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say even if it's an elderly person that's by themselves, spend some time
Yeah.
with them, bring them a plate of food, and just tell them say Happy Thanksgiving, or just spend some time with them with a piece of pie or something.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, hey, dessert is a great way to break the ice for sure.
Mhm.
We have some amazing shows coming up next year. Amelia and I are going to have a little podcast summit after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year. We'll do that, or maybe we'll do it between Thanksgiving and Christmas. We
Right.
got to figure out when we're going to do it, but we got to put some shows together.
All right.
You got that paper right? With all you got your erasable pen?
I do actually, different colors.
Good, you're going to need them. Well, listen, for Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, who puts up with more shit from me, let me publicly say, and you don't hear this much from me, but let me say, Amelia, thank you so much for putting up with my nonsense and my big mouth
You don't have
and my pain in the ass attitude sometimes. Because my wife said to me, if I was Amelia, I'd tell you to go fuck yourself and leave. She did. I
Oh.
said, I don't treat her that bad. Sometimes I do. I get a little mouthy once in a while. I treat you pretty good, right?
You do. You do.
Tell my wife that. Call her and tell her that.
Yeah.
You got her number.
That's one thing we can be thankful for. We're here for each other in the long run.
Exactly.
Thick and thin, bad or good, we're here for each other.
Exactly.
And happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And if we don't see you
Yes.
here for you, Merry Christmas.
From
We're gonna
What's
say it.
the Buzz podcast from
Yes.
the Pitbull and the Mad Dog. Happy Thanksgiving. We will see you folks. 2025 is just around the corner.
Yes.
We pray that we're all happy, healthy, and we're all still here.
Yes.
Remember, my father always used to say, tomorrow is promised to no one, so live every day with joy. So
Absolutely.
we're going to do that. So on that note, folks, it was a hell of a way to say happy 24.
Yes.
Amelia, I'll see you probably in a week. Get out of here. Go.
We'll still be
Bye-bye.
talking. Have a good night.
Take care. Oh, man, I got to do this. Bye.